What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away. We feel big.
What's up?
Never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves. We won't let the world burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To play. Haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To play. Haters face
Let's start the bot.
mistakes. Wake it through the
There we go.
back, kill it anyway.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Welcome everybody. Oh, I think people are here. Fuck. No one's even commenting. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Will Bird, this is Cold Beer Confessional. I've had a tough week. I don't know. I wasn't even going to do a show. I'm just wore the fuck out. I got an appointment coming up I'm not looking forward to. Kind of wore out, and the country's imploding. So I'm here, I guess. Let me give it to you in cartoon format. Maybe it won't be so bad. Okay? Here's what we got currently going on. Let me get some audio. Hold on.
Donald Trump and the Heritage Foundation plan
No,
to
start
use
over.
military. Fuck, this is it. For nearly a year, we've warned that Donald Trump and the Heritage Foundation plan to use the military for their extreme immigration agenda, inevitably leading to widespread harm and loss of life.
Death. This is going to lead to death. Whether it be protesters or immigrants or illegals or whatever the fuck you want to call them, or soldiers or police officers, people will die.
This is happening right now. American citizens, undocumented migrants, and even members of the National Guard and ICE will be injured or killed due to this entirely unnecessary action. Responsibility for this violence rests directly on Donald Trump's hands. What is occurring in California is an illegal and tragic event that did not need to happen. Usually, we produce humorous cartoons explaining serious events, but there's little humor here. All we can do now is briefly recap recent events for clarity. In May, reports emerged from DHS about deploying the National Guard to assist ICE. On Friday, June 6th, ICE conducted multiple raids in Los Angeles, dressed in full tactical gear and armed with assault weapons. Their actions were brutally violent. Protests immediately followed, including at the federal building in downtown LA, which the LAPD tried to disperse. Governor Gavin Newsom called the raids reckless and cruel, revealing they were driven by arbitrary arrest quotas mandated by Trump, forcing ICE to detain a set number of people weekly, regardless of legal status. That evening, Trump threatened to cut off federal aid to California. Newsom responded, noting California contributes more federal taxes than it receives and financially supports many red states' social services. Trump's anger.
He's going to cut off federal aid to California. California pays for almost all of the aid for red states, by the way.
Clearly escalated tensions, prompting
California's like the fourth largest economy in the world.
ICE to intensify raids the following day. On Saturday, June 7th, protests continued alongside ICE raids. Peaceful demonstrators blocked ICE agents from entering a Home Depot, leading agents to deploy tear gas, pepper spray, and flashbang grenades directly into the crowd. Social media footage shows ICE officers violently striking protesters with shields and firing tear gas at close range. LA's mayor requested ICE withdraw for public safety. Tom Homan, ICE's
They've asked that ICE withdrawal for public safety, right? It's ramping up. It's getting worse. People are getting hurt, injured, arrested. Maybe just pull back and let it cool off for a couple days or a couple weeks. Then come back and do whatever you got to do. But this continuing escalation is not good for anybody.
And firing tear gas at close range. LA's mayor requested ICE withdraw for public safety. Tom Homan, ICE's acting and unconfirmed director, refused, claiming he was making the city safer even as violence continued. Trump falsely claimed riots and looting were occurring, despite clear evidence that ICE...
So ICE raided one business, and apparently once they went in and threw the business owner out, the business owner locked the door and left. And locked ICE inside, and the FBI had to respond. The FBI had to respond to break them out.
Claimed riots and looting were occurring, despite clear evidence that ICE agents were responsible for the documented violence. Tom Homan announced the federalization and mobilization of the National Guard against protesters. Governor Newsom confirmed Trump's steps toward federalizing the California National Guard. And now known drunkard and leaker of military secrets, Pete Hegseth has said he's going to send in the Marines to attack protesters. This is madness. People will die. And they don't have to. They just don't have to.
It is, it's ramping up in California. So, I don't know. It's getting worse. It is, I don't know. I would assume that Trump would have to activate an Insurrection Act to federalize National Guard against the government. It seems like it's against the governor's wishes. Newsom came out and said, no, this is inflating tension. This is only going to make it worse. We've asked the cops, what do you need? What can we give you? Can we give you some type of aid? We've given them any aid that they've asked for. The mayor there has said, no, please, let us back out. Like, tensions are rising. I think her name's Mayor Bass. I don't know. It don't seem great. So that's where we're at. I don't know what else to say. It seems bad. It seems bad currently. I don't know. I've already been down, and this just seems horrible for people in California. For people that are trying to protest and protect people that they care for, right? And they're going to get caught up in it. Obviously, the people they're trying to deport are going to get caught up in it. And what's crazy is this was all sold as, we're going to get the murderers and the drug dealers and the rapists and the gang members. How many murder, rapist, gang members you think are at Home Depot trying to work as day laborers? I don't know. It's wild right now, so that's all I know. Seems like it's not going great. If you know what I mean. Seems like it's not going great there, but yeah. What can you do other than sit back and fucking watch, I guess? I'm not in California. There's not much I can do. So thank you very much. Cheer 200 bits. I appreciate it. Thank you for the bits. It seems like it's pretty wild in California currently, and I don't know that there's an end in sight. It just seems like everybody, they're trying to escalate it, right? And maybe that's intentional. Maybe they're escalating on purpose. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it's going to calm anything down. It doesn't seem like it's going to ease tensions. It doesn't seem like it's going to leave people in a better place. It seems like it's all leading for something to be fucking much worse. Much, much worse. I don't know. Let's see what Mr. Global put out today.
People have been asking me why I'm not talking about the rescission package, so I guess let's talk about it. First of all, what is a rescission package? It's essentially a request by the White House to Congress to pull back any funds from prior approved legislation that has not been spent yet. Fortunately, things like Social Security and Medicare are exempt from this process. This is something that was established in 1974, the Congressional Budget and Impoundment Control Act, I believe is what it's called. Before then, a president could just stop the funding unilaterally. Now they have to go to Congress, and that is why a rescission package exists. So what are they targeting? Foreign aid like USAID, public broadcasting like NPR, PBS. They're trying to defund these things. Some of the things that DOJ has cut, this particular rescission package is about $9 billion. Now, Congress does not have to approve all of it. They can approve part of it and not approve the rest of it. And while this package is very important, the next one that may be coming would be more than 10 times bigger because they're looking at another $150 billion in rescissions. That is more than has been cut during the entirety of all rescissions since this ever started back in 1974. There's a little over $90 billion that has been cut in the last 50 years, and there is talk that they are proposing a single $150 billion rescission package. Republicans in Congress are telling the White House, if you send us that, we will vote for it. The $150 billion one would be the one you really need to worry about. Now you're talking about cuts to healthcare, agriculture, education, foreign aid, more SNAP benefits. And what they would do in this package is cut all of the things they want and simply redirect those funds to the things they do want, like the Golden Dome, nuclear energy. They want to cut all of the funds towards clean energy and renewable energy and push it towards nuclear energy. They would move funds from like education and put it at the border. So the $150 billion one is the big one. That, like I said, they would cut all of the programs they want to cut and simply redirect those funds to the things they want. And here's the crazy part. They want to do this to reduce the amount of deficit spending that they're going to create with the big, beautiful budget. But here's the thing. They're claiming that there is no increase in the deficit while at the same time trying to approve legislation to offset the increase in the deficit. It literally makes no sense. Well, it does make sense if you don't think about it. So those are the two rescission packages that we are currently looking at. And keep in mind, they only need a majority vote in Congress to pass. Thanks. People have been...
More bad news. It's always bad. God damn, dude.
Federal bills. So if Donald Trump's going to continue to threaten 40 million Americans that live in California, maybe we should consider withholding those resources. I 100% agree with Governor Gavin Newsom here. He's saying if Donald Trump wants to defund California, we'll just withhold all of our resources. We're a donor state. We pay out $80 billion more than we bring in. That is what California does. If they could do that, in effect, it would cost the federal government money by cutting off California. And why don't all states have to stand on their own 2 feet? Why does California and people in California have to take care of people in West Virginia? Every state should stand on their own 2 feet. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps and take care of yourself. If conservatives hate welfare so much, why are so many conservative states on the federal teat? I think the donor states should cut them off. I think they should get to keep their money, and I think they should cut off the welfare states. Could you imagine how productive these states would have to become? They would have to go to work and take care of themselves. We can call it make the states great again. Why are the states that hate socialism so much so dependent on the states that don't? Cut them off. Make them earn their money. Thanks.
I think he's got one more new one that I haven't seen.
News, this happening right now. The Supreme Court has ruled to allow Doge to have access to all of your information within the Social Security Administration. Breaking right now on AP, Supreme Court allows Doge team to access Social Security systems with data on millions of Americans. This ruling overturns a Maryland judge's ruling because she thought this was a fishing expedition and there was no evidence to show that there was any type of fraud going on in Social Security. Now, I think for most Americans, this is simply about trust. They don't trust this administration. Throughout the entire process, where Doge is concerned, they have been lied to repeatedly over and over and over again. Every Doge cut turns out to be a lie about something. So how do you feel about Doge having access to your sensitive information? Honestly, I kind of feel like...
And Russia hacking it moments after they get access to it.
They already have all of our information anyway, but that doesn't make this right. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please like and share. Thanks.
Did you see that as soon as Trump and Elon started arguing on social media that Russia reached out and offered Elon asylum? Like, even if it was as a joke, that's kind of weird that he has that type of pull, right? Yeah. Oh, you're good. I have to run another long day at the hospital tomorrow. Yeah. Don't work too hard, I guess. We're just going to sit here and wallow in self-pity. I don't know what else to do. It's getting bad, dude. Like... I hate this woman. God, I hate this woman so much.
I think Musk is upset that the president...
Somehow I keep getting recommended her video. I guess because we have the same accent, maybe. I hate this video.
Can't be bought. He is upset that he dropped the electric vehicle mandate, and now he's having...
She's wrong on everything she's ever talked about.
Total sense if you don't think about it. Yeah, like if you don't think about the fact that a big part of Donald Trump's campaign was, in fact, ending the so-called EV mandate. Also, if you don't think about the fact that the Chevron decision by the Supreme Court effectively ended the EV mandate long before Donald Trump became the president of the United States. If you don't think about it, Donald Trump ending the EV mandate is a lot like Donald Trump ending the pause on LNG exports. It was something that was already done, so he's doing it again so he can take credit for it. Yeah. There was going to be no EV mandate regardless.
I want to show you her account in just a second.
24. It was already gone. Now, it's certainly possible that neither Donald Trump nor Elon Musk know this little tidbit of information, which should be common knowledge since the Chevron decision was all we talked about for weeks last year. Or maybe they just know that you don't know.
She always rails on like social services and people getting money, or that's my tax dollars or what. She lives in one of the poorest fucking communities in Kentucky, dude. Everything, every fucking thing in her community is subsidized.
Thanks.
I think Musk is upset that the president can't be bought. He is...
I'm going to show you her account. God damn, I don't know why it keeps recommending it to me. It's bad. It's bad. Let's just go through some of her videos here. I don't know any of them. I'm just going to pick them at random. And we'll just go through them, and I'm not setting these up. You can just see how fucking bad they are, okay? Let's start with her pinned videos. Looks like Trump was right about Ukraine. Stop blindly following. Do the research. Go read news articles from The Hill titled, "Sadly, Trump was right about Ukraine."
Regardless if you like President Trump or not, it looks like he was right about Ukraine, and the media is slowly starting to release that. The Hill is one of the biggest political outlets in D.C., and if you haven't read their newest article,
it's an opinion piece by Alan J. Cooperman that says, "I really agree with President Trump, but his latest controversial statements about Ukraine are mostly true. They seem preposterous only because Western audiences have been fed a steady diet of disinformation about Ukraine for more than a decade. It's time to set the record straight on 3 key points that illuminates why Ukrainians and former President Joe Biden, not merely Russian President Vladimir Putin, bear significant responsibility for the outbreak and perpetuation of the war in Ukraine. Firstly, as recently documented by overwhelming forensic evidence and affirmed by Kiev court, it was Ukrainian right-wing militants who started violence in 2014 that provoked Russia's initial invasion of the country's southeast, including Crimea. Back then, Ukraine had pro-Russia President Yanukovych, I think is how you say it, who had won free and fair elections in 2010 and was strong support from the ethnic Russians in the country's southeast. In 2013, he decided to pursue economic cooperation with Russia rather than Europe as previously planned, as voted on by their basically Congress, right? Their version of Congress voted to start opening up to the West, to the EU. They wanted to be more Eurocentric economy. He went against what that was voted and said, "Oh no, I think I'm going to sign this deal with Russia instead." He was bought and paid for by Russia. But this is just an opinion piece. Anybody can write an opinion piece.
it's important that you go do so. The name of the article is, "Sadly, Trump is right on Ukraine." The story goes on to tell that the war in Ukraine was provoked by Ukraine by their right-wing militants. They ignited the conflict in 2014, way before Russia took Crimea. The media has sold us a one-sided story, and it's very important that you go read this article. They wanted you to believe the war started in 2022, when Russia unprovokingly attacked Ukraine. They now know that is not the case. I have to be very careful on what I say.
They now know. It's just someone saying this, right? It's an opinion piece.
On my videos as they're flagged.
They now report it, and she talks so fucking slow. God damn, it kills me. I hate this. Trump says Doge will be focusing on CPS and the U.S. foster care system next. I don't know if I've ever heard this being said, but okay.
Hey guys, have you heard? Doge is going after CPS and the United States foster care system next. Yep. If you're making money on these kids illegally, if you're using and abusing and frauding, he's coming for you. He's fixing to find out the truth, the real truth, about what is happening to these children. This just keeps getting better and better. Everything that we ask for, he is delivering. I am so excited. This is absolutely huge. Huge. To me, it's almost as big.
This is back in February, by the way. Did Doge do anything for CPS?
No, not all.
Or the foster care system? This was in February. Where's our update?
It is as big as the IRS. So actually probably even more so important because of the children involved. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, guys. What do you expect to happen? What do you think will happen? I'm just excited. I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon. God bless you. Hey y'all, getting ready.
I don't really care about her going live posts.
Hey y'all, I need your help. If you follow me on this account,
just pray for me.
Ticket for me. I have an account ban warning over.
Ban warning. Gotta be super careful.
Hey y'all, I had to end that live abruptly. I'm really sorry. I've got a family emergency, but I'll be back shortly. Hey y'all. Hey. Want to know how to implode and destroy a country?
Like she talks so goddamn slow. It makes me think she's reading a script and can barely read. Like, I don't know what her cadence of speech is. It's insane.
Wide open borders.
Yeah, no, CPS. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. Doge is going after CPS and the foster care system next. Praise the Lord.
Free welfare and health care for all. The Democrats.
I mean, it does. So CPS is a state-funded program that they do receive a lot of a portion of their money from federal subsidies and grants and shit, right? But the states establish, administer, inspect, investigate. The states do all that themselves.
That's how you destroy a country. Illegal migrants should not be receiving health care, welfare, or SNAP benefits. They were legally never entitled to that stuff.
Legally never entitled to that stuff.
Allowing it. I'm not saying
That's not true. They're not getting these at the federal level. States can do this with their own programs that they fund themselves. The last administration was giving them everything they had.
this for shock value. I truly believe in my heart the Democrats want to destroy our country. If you
The
want
Democrats want to destroy our country, and Trump is activating military to go fuck up California right now. Against the governor's wishes, against the mayor, against the people's wishes. He is activating a military unit to go fuck up people in California. The Democrats are trying to destroy our nation.
to give away free health care and welfare, let's start giving the citizens free health care over illegal migrants. You can't leave the border wide open and give everyone that comes through it free cell phones, health care, welfare, and then still continue to scream out to the world for more to come. And that is exactly what the last administration was doing. So thankful for the Trump administration. I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Respectfully.
Respectfully.
I just read a comment where one of you guys was
It says, if speaking my opinion causes division, I guess we'll just stay divided. I'll never be quiet for the sake of unity.
talking about chalking everything up as wins or losses is fueling the division in this country. I've got news for you. Your party, the one of hypocrisy, hate, name-calling, disparaging, belittling, they are fueling the division in this country. If speaking out about things that I feel is wrong or voicing my opinions causes division, I guess it'll just be division, because I will never be silent for the sake of unity. Instead of preaching to Republicans, conservatives, and MAGA about division, how about you try preaching to your party manners and respect? Because there is very little, I can guarantee you that. And before you try to start arguing with me, just go read some of the comments on my videos. The comments on my videos tell me everything I want to know about Democrats and liberals. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon. God bless you. I just read a comment where one of you guys was talking about chalking everything.
Got it.
Friday, the
Supreme Court rules in favor of Trump admin allowing Doge to access Social Security data. VP J.D. Vance tells Theo Vaughn he will always be loyal to President Trump, and he doesn't know if Musk will ever be back in the good graces of President Trump.
Friday, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Trump administration, giving Doge access to Social Security data. Theo Vaughn interviewed J.D. Vance on his podcast Thursday. He had a lot to say about the Musk-Trump feud. J.D. said he did not know if Elon would ever be able to be back in the good graces of President Donald Trump. He went on to say he thinks it's a huge mistake for Elon to be attacking the president. J.D. said he was always going to be loyal to President Trump.
Always going to be loyal.
One day Musk will return to the fold.
You mean the never Trump guy who called him, who compared him to Hitler? Is always going to be loyal to President Trump.
But He doesn't know if that will even be possible after going.
There's been a rumor going around for a couple years about a fifth. I saw somebody put that in chat, a fifth plane on 9/11. So basically, there's this rumor. I saw it a couple years ago, right? That TMZ did a weird documentary about it. That there was a plane. I'm trying to figure out. I can't remember where it was out of. Anyways, there's a plane that was supposed to be taking off about the same time. It was a cross-country flight like the other flights. And maybe JFK or somewhere around New York City. It was supposed to be taking off. And there was some of the flight crew noticed a passenger up front only in a T-shirt that was like sweating and acting like he was nervous. They didn't think anything about it. Then there was another lady that was in like a full garb, like full Islamic garb, the head covering and everything. And some of the people on that flight thought she was actually a man, and there was an argument that broke out over food, which is weird. Like they asked about the food that was going to be served on the flight, and then they said that they don't eat meat, and they demanded a fruit plate. So then the flight attendants were before takeoff, were trying to see if they could get them a fruit plate. And it ended up they were like, well, it'd take a minute to get you a fruit plate. And they're like, no, let's take off right now. And this flight never took off, right? Because the second plane ended up hitting the tower and they grounded all flights. But that's the only evidence. Was just like, oh, there's this weird Muslim guy, and there was this other weird Muslim lady that some of the passengers thought. It doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would they be upset about a fruit plate if they were just trying to go hijack the fucking plane? That doesn't make any goddamn sense at all. But whatever.
So nuclear. He went on to say he thinks it's a huge mistake for the world's wealthiest man to be at war with the world's most powerful man. There were rumors yesterday that Elon was...
And there were, so literally, like, this isn't like this one plane that got some attention because of flight crew. So after the second plane hit and airports were locked down, they received hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of tips about, like, my plane was doing this, and I saw a brown person on this plane, and this person said something, and I saw somebody with a pocket knife, and just stupid shit. I don't think it has any validity.
Was trying to talk to President Trump. Trump told us on Air Force One he has zero interest in talking with Elon Musk. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, respectfully, and I hope you all have a wonderful Saturday. God bless you. Friday, the Supreme...
God, this woman's...
Elon Musk is
say he'll profusely apologize to President Trump when the Epstein files drop. In no scenario will Kilmar Abrego Garcia remain in the U.S.
saying he will profusely apologize to Trump once the Epstein files have been released.
She tries to run like a news channel, but how much bias is this?
Lawyers came out and said there's no damn...
How much is this driven by her bias?
...concerning President Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Still, you have Democrats and liberals doubling down. It seems as though 2020 taught them nothing. The election of 2024 taught them nothing. They were so giddy and excited on Thursday. They really thought they had the president. They thought, this is it. This is going to be the one.
Why aren't they released then? You know how the President Trump could clear his name? Dump the files right now. Dump the files, all of them, right now.
Once again, they look...
Kash Patel's tried to act like he was worried about re-victimizing the victims from the Epstein case. That's why we can't just put all the data out right now. You realize that Trump's convicted of raping somebody, right?
And now we have Kilmar Abrego Garcia back in the United States, wasting taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars.
There was a video I saw this lady where she was, here it is. No, it wasn't this one. Where she's talking about how hard she works and she doesn't need nothing from nobody. But she's like, she's on the front porch of her single wide trailer. And again, she lives in like the poorest area in Kentucky. Like that, everything's subsidized. I think it was this one.
I think people.
It says you can be pitiful or you can be powerful, but never both. Never have I ever seen a hearse followed by a U-Haul. This old world is just a temporary home. Materialistic things mean nothing to me. You cannot cling to these things like this and then be like, the immigrants are stealing all of our food stamps, all of our taxes. I thought this world was just a temporary home. And you're trying to get your riches in the afterlife. Why aren't we feeding those immigrants? Why aren't we housing and clothing those immigrants? That's weird.
I think people have got it so wrong. It is not money that makes you happy. It is not the things you own that make you happy. I've had money. I've had things in my lifetime. And guess what? I was still in a miserable state. I was miserable. I didn't know the Lord. I didn't truly know the Lord.
Didn't even know him.
Felt like I was smothering at all times.
She's like a recovering junkie or some shit.
There was a constant urge in me to want to run constantly. And it wasn't until I come to know the Lord and I got sober.
You should have just joined a cross-country team if you had this constant need to run.
That I finally learned.
Like Forrest Gump.
This was. It wasn't until I got real with myself about the true problem of things and decided to do something different, that I wanted something different and I wanted something more. I'm not being disrespectful or rude when I say you have as many hours in the day as the next man. Use them wisely.
There isn't anything wrong with living in a trailer, even a single wide trailer, even an old trailer, right? Live where you can afford to live. But to sit and be like, nothing in this world, you can't take it with you. I've had it all. The big fancy lifestyles and, like, have you? Is that what we're saying now? Is that the argument to make? I'd give it all up to be with Jesus. Okay.
Wisely. You cannot continue to make up excuses and find yourself a victim in every situation. You must learn to be victorious. You can be pitiful or you can be powerful, but you will never be both. Y'all.
You can be like Christ, or you can fucking turn immigrants into monsters, but you can't be both, right? You can't be both. No one, I repeat, no one has an issue with getting rid of gang members and rapists and murderers, either in jail or deportation. No one. That's not what you're doing, is it?
Have a wonderful afternoon. God bless you.
I hate this lady so much. There you go. Her name is Jennifer Wilson. U.S. flag, Jennifer Wilson, U.S. flag is her name. It won't show the emojis on here, but there you go. She's been around for a bit. God, I don't know why. It suggests her to me so much. This is the first time I've ever been to her page, I think. My opinion on the pardon of Todd and Julie Chrisley. By the way, that guy's gay, right? Todd Chrisley.
You guys?
He's like super gay.
I told you guys when I didn't agree with President Trump, you would be the very first to know about it.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Here I am. No, I do not agree with the Todd and Julie Chrisley pardons. I do not think he should have done that. However,
Biden!
I do support my president. Just because you support your president, that does not mean you have to agree or co-sign every single thing he does. Just because you support your president, that does not mean that you have to think he is right on every single thing that he does. When I don't agree with something, I'm going to always speak up about it. I've always been that person. I'm not going to change today.
The very first comment says, they are wrong for what they did, but they didn't deserve the sentence they received. More violent and dangerous criminals get lesser sentences. and she says, I agree with this. The sentence was way too steep. So do you disagree with him or not?
I hope that the Chrisleys have to pay restitution. I'm not sure yet.
They won't. They've been absolved of that, so they won't. All the people they fucked over, just like all the people that worked at the hospital down in Florida, they won't. 100% they won't. There's a guy that is reading the emails. Let's actually see if we can find him.
With Father's Day just around the corner, today might be my husband's birthday. I got him this cool hat with the fans in. How do you like this hat, Brandon?
Whatever the fuck that was. That was some type of weird ad. There's a guy, this guy, he reads the emails that have to do with this case and how fucked up their fraud was and how they just openly were emailing people like, just lie about it. Just make this up. You got to put this down on the form or they won't believe us. Listen.
So I didn't realize just how blatantly the gay dad from Chrisley Knows Best committed fraud. So I printed out these emails, and when I read them to you, I think you're going to be shocked. And Trump is, of course, now pardoning Todd and the wife for $36 million worth of fraud charges that were brought against them when Todd's alleged gay lover ratted him out. So this first email is from when Todd would falsify his financial information in order to get loans that he actually wasn't qualified for. On November 4th, an employee of Todd sent him an email with a personal financial statement that claimed that he had $4 million at Merrill Lynch. Todd then responds because the bank asked for statements and says, you are an effing genius. Just make it show $4 million. In reality, they didn't have an account at that bank and there were only $17,000 on deposit when they did open an account there. Then later on, when a bank asked for updated financial information in order to renew a loan, Todd emailed the same employee and said, please get her the financials and I will get her the rest. The employee then responds and says, I don't have financials on any of these. She has tax returns. Todd then responds and says, stop telling me this shit. Create them like you always have. If I don't get these, then they won't renew the loans.
Stop telling me that shit. Create fake tax returns. What are you talking about? You always do that.
She has tax returns. Todd then responds and says, stop telling me this shit. Create them like you always have. If I don't get these, then they won't renew the loans. The employee then expressed that they were having trouble with it, and Todd then says, giving me an excuse as to why you cannot figure this out does not move it off your plate. This is not what we discussed. Passing it back and forth is not getting the results requested. If you do not know how to do this, then find a crooked accountant to do it. Ask Redacted who her guy uses.
Find a crooked accountant to do it. Ask so-and-so who their crooked accountant is.
For his crooked shit. Later on, a bank was asking them for updated information because they were going to be having an FDIC review. And Julie Chrisley emails that same employee a copy of a check and says, the date is the...
Imagine if you lied to the bank to get a few $1 million in a loan. You think you'd get your pardon?
only thing that needs to be changed because it was not real. Todd then chimes in and says, make sure this is perfect before you send it, as there can't be a screw up, and she looks at this stuff fairly close. I just have to say 2012 was a simpler time because it is absolutely amazing to me that they were comfortable putting all of this over email and thinking that no one was ever going to find out about it. There are a few more juicy emails in here, so let me know if you're interested in hearing any more of those. So
I don't know if he actually did more or not. This is the one we just watched. Is this another one?
Let's read through some of the emails that got the gay dad and his wife from Chrisley Knows Best put in.
How the Chrisleys got put in prison for gluing together fake bank statements.
Prison for fraud. Todd and Julie Chrisley were just released from prison because President Trump pardoned them for committing $36 million worth of fraud. In an August 14th, 2012 sworn affidavit, Todd Chrisley falsely asserted that co-conspirator A had used their accountant's stationery and signature without the knowledge or consent of Todd Chrisley or the accountant. And co-conspirator A is Todd's former business partner, and he claims that the two had an affair in the early 2000s. However, approximately 3 months earlier, Todd Chrisley emailed co-conspirator A asking, can you place this on the accountant's letterhead with his signature and then sign Julie's name below the accountant's? Address the letter to whom it may concern. So pro tip, if you're ever trying to commit fraud, if you're going to later claim that someone used your...
Just copy and paste it all with the letterhead.
Account stationery and letterhead without your knowledge, make sure there are no emails of you asking the person to do exactly that. A lot of people are claiming that the ex-business partner who claims to have an affair with Todd is actually...
By the way, this is what Trump did, right? This is what Trump did on his 34 felonies, was lie about how wealthy he was to get money, to borrow more, to just continue to lie.
He did all this and he was just throwing Todd and Julie under the bus. However, this all continued after 2012 once he had nothing to do with the Chrisleys because they had a falling out. In 2012, Todd and Julie Chrisley continued to transmit fabricated bank statements and other false documents to third parties. During a lease application process for a home in California, the property owner required Julie to provide a credit report and bank statements showing that Todd and Julie Chrisley had at least $486,000 in their accounts. Now listen to this. When applying to rent the home in July 2014, Julie Chrisley transmitted multiple fabricated documents that had been physically cut and then glued or taped together, and Todd Chrisley sent an email containing a false statement about the Chrisleys' available funds. My feet are up in the air because I'm like so excited reading all this. On July
They literally cut and pasted it together.
23rd, 2014. Again, this is all after the guy from the affair is no longer in the picture. Julie Chrisley sent an email to the realtor attaching a City National Bank account statement reporting a June 30th, 2014 account balance of $86,790. In reality, the City National Bank account had a balance of negative $14,530. Ugh. Numbers had been physically cut out from one document and then glued or taped onto the account statement to make it appear that the account had sufficient funds on deposit. And again, you guys, if you are ever trying to commit fraud, you need to learn how to edit the actual PDF. Gluing and taping stuff on it is just such a rookie move. Like, come on. Also, someone commented on my video yesterday, now I can't find the comment, and said, oh, so you guys are going to trust some random guy with red hair to read these printed documents from God knows where? Well, these are all from the criminal indictment. You can look them up and access this online. It's not some creative writing project that I just conjured out of thin air. And this thing goes on for pages. So if you want to see more of it, follow me because I'm just going to keep reading it. Let's read through some of the emails that got the gay dad.
That's insane. That's insane. The Tiger King has been begging for a pardon, but I don't know if he ever got one. Listen to this.
Tom, I wonder if you can speak to that a little bit. Explain to us more, help everyone understand the threat that our ICE agents are facing by just doing their job, why they need to wear these masks, and also what actions need to be taken against Democrats who are demanding that they be unmasked. And
what actions should be taken against Democrats that are saying that ICE agents shouldn't be hiding their identity? Okay? What actions should be taken against people that's saying, hey, should they be running around kidnapping people with masks on? Nothing, right? I mean, you can argue against them. You can say, hey, they do need this, but what actions? What do you mean?
And what would happen if they do dox them and publish their identities?
Look, it's incredible. We're at a place where the guys, the men and women who enforce law, they're the bad guys, and the ones who break the law are the victims. You kidding me? How come they didn't say anything about BLM? They're all.
I swear, I think Tom Homan had a stroke.
They were a mask. How about the protesters, all the college campuses? They were protesting against.
You think there's a difference between BLM, Antifa, protesters, and the federal ICE agents? Or no, they're all the same?
Israel and the Jewish students, they're wearing masks. I didn't hear a word about that.
Are you saying that they're a fucking terrorist organization?
Well, these protesters are wearing masks, but ICE agents are wearing masks for one reason, because the assault on ICE officers is up over 400%. The assault on ICE officers.
The assault on ICE officers. The assault on ICE officers. 400%.
Being doxxed across the country. And their families are being attacked. Their families are being doxxed. Their families are being threatened. And I certainly understand it. I allow death threats. I've been doxxed. My family's been doxxed. I understand it. But they're wearing masks for one reason only. Protect themselves.
By the way, Kash fucking Patel said that his home was swatted, which is hilarious to me.
Their families. They're doing a dangerous job. This is already a dangerous job. They got to wear a gun. They got to wear a Kevlar vest every day because they're doing a dangerous job every day. While the rest of these people, like Hakeem Jeffries, is sleeping in his bed at night at 3 a.m., nice and comfortably and safe, there's men and women of ICE on the street doing surveillance on significant public safety threats, really bad characters, and national security threats. They're taking it on every day. The men and women of Border Patrol standing on a dirt trail every night at 3 a.m., taking on the bad guy. So this is another threat against ICE agents, and we're asking the Department of Justice to look at these statements and see if there's something we can do. When do you cross that line?
Look at the statements of saying, hey, they shouldn't be wearing masks, and see if the DOJ can prosecute that.
On threatening ICE officers. And here's the problem. You got.
I think he's talking around a dick.
They're writing death to ICE agents. ICE agents been threatened. Their families been threatened. And you got members of Congress. You got some judges out there that compare ICE to the KKK, ICE to the Nazis. You got city council people saying ICE are terrorists. They're feeding the hatred. And here's my concern. I've been doing this a long time. It's a matter of time before ICE takes a life or an ICE agent loses their life, because the rhetoric is at an all-time high and is being fed by people who should be more responsible. Elected officials especially, who keep firing up this rhetoric. I'm telling you, it's coming. There's going to be
all these channels on YouTube that claim to be live in California. I don't know if any of them are actually live. They all got these weird, like, CNN-News-18, CNBC TV 18. Like, I don't know if any of these are fucking live. They say they're live, but anybody could be rolling other footage. Because this right here, Agenda Free TV, is the only one that's actually nighttime there. Fuck ice, that car's burnt out there.
Hey, thanks to I Love Reading. I Love Reading thinks the police set a car on fire at some point. I'm not sure if that's the case. I didn't see it myself, so I can't confirm that. Thank you, I Love Reading, and DBJ, and Ronald Kane.
The other ones were showing it like the middle of the day. People like pushing back against ICE agents in full battle rifle. But it should be dark in California by now, right? We've already talked about all that. Yes, I know there's protests. Yes, I know that he said in that. That doesn't negate the fact that every fucking channel here is showing daytime protests. There's no way it can be live and it's fucking daytime. Like, this is obviously a rerun of a video. This is obviously a rerun of a video. Like, this can't be live and be daytime. It's got to be a scam from earlier today. Like, this is not live. I trust Agenda Free TV. Hopefully, it seems like he would have a live feed.
LAPD says that they have authorized. There's some protesters downtown in LA, in the Alameda and Temple area, and LAPD announced about.
I saw the video of them setting a damn Jeep on fire earlier, and the guy looks like fuck. He got fucked up, dude.
That you're looking at. But if you turn on ABC7 on YouTube, you can see the downtown scene with lots of law enforcement there and some protesters on the street there.
This is actually ABC7. And there are protesters lined up there. That looks like the immigration building they were protesting at earlier. It looks like a line of law enforcement. Has anybody actually seen any National Guard units? I guess it'd be a question. Fucking Hegseth is like, we'll send the Marines next. What the fuck? It's going to be hard to tell, right? They're going to be in fatigues, and they won't have any name tabs. They won't have any unit insignia. They won't have anything, right? But we'll be looking, obviously. This is just a downtown camera. I don't think there's any audio to it, but interesting to see, at least. All the police cars lined up. They've asked everybody to calm it the fuck down, but here we are. So, the halo in the sky. A blockade there in the middle of the road. Damn, that's a lot of graffiti on that building. This is where I saw that this building was surrounded before with a bunch of protesters, this same building. I don't know if this is like a detention facility or something. Yeah, like I said, it's hard to tell. Unless we get like confirmation. There's going to be a lot of people saying this is the National Guard because they're in like camis or whatever. But unless we get confirmation from a unit that says, okay, we've been called up, it's really hard to fucking tell. There should be Title 10 orders out for these units if they actually activate them. If it's not just a threat and they're like, we're looking into it or whatever, they'll get paperwork that says you've been ordered to, blah, 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 and it'll be under Title 10 authority for the federal government. It doesn't look like there's a lot going on right there. We can go back and check what Agenda Free TV's got going on. Go back to the live. This may be... I don't see the building, though.
No, you're good. You're good. You okay?
I saw somebody on Twitter that posted a video of a guy that was blocking a car. And I'm not one for... If you're going to block traffic... You got to expect there's probably some negative things that are going to happen with that. But the guy gets hit by the car so hard, his like head slams on the ground. And he's unconscious, dude. He goes like into fencer pose. Like he's definitely knocked the fuck out. But someone shares that video on Twitter and is like, yes, this is what I voted for before anybody asks. Like, why do you want to see somebody get fucking hurt? You don't know who that was or what they were doing or like that's, I don't know. That's just insane. What's this video out of Inglewood?
Hey, todo va a estar bien, papa. Hey. Oh my fucking God, bro. I'm not doing anything.
Pepper spray.
Hey. Hey, look at that. Hey, he's choking him. Hey, look, hey. Hey, I'm not doing shit. Hey, I'm recording.
Yeah, at least record at minimum.
It's all being recorded. Dale. I'm not doing anything. I'm right here on the curb. What you gonna do? Nigga ain't put the fucking bags down. Niggas, you ain't gonna do shit. Hey, déjalo. Hey, just let it be. Déjalo, papa. Papa, déjalo. Está bien, déjalo. Déjalo.
I mean, I think I just have to quit. Like, if I was in one of these jobs and this was what they wanted me to do, was run around, I would just have to quit. Go work somewhere else.
Hey,
like, I don't...
Hey, todo va a estar bien, papa. Hey. Oh, my fucking God, bro. I'm not doing anything. Hey.
Cat Turd is mad because Alex Jones called him out and said, I'm not in your fucking cult the other day.
I'm rallying people. Go tell your mama how you proud. I'm rallying people and checking them in. What crime did they make? What crime did they commit? Nothing.
Somebody said those aren't protesters; those are feds. Did I do this right, MAGA?
Sure, you're proud, bitch. All you motherfuckers are KKK. It's corruption. Look at that. This is brand new, motherfuckers. So proud of standing so tall.
Your gas. I got in a fight with some keyboard warrior on Twitter today. So someone shared a picture of a guy standing there with a like a smoke grenade launcher, right? It's the one that has like the different, like the 8 chambers for 40 millimeter grenades. I can't remember the nomenclature for it, but anyways, he said in his post like, why do dishwashers need this type of weapon to like take them into custody or whatever. And some idiot's like, that's non-lethal. It's a grenade launcher, you idiot. Used for smoke and tear gas and flashbangs. And I'm like, no, it's not. This is why I know that you're a goddamn nobody. It's not non-lethal. It's less lethal. Absolutely can I kill a motherfucker with a 40 millimeter grenade launcher with a smoke round. I could kill a motherfucker instantly with a smoke round. And they're like, actually, beanbags are non-lethal or less lethal. This is non-lethal. Fuck. I was like, I don't tell you how to be I don't tell you how to type on a goddamn keyboard all day from your mom's basement. Don't tell me about weapons, you fucking retard. But they disappeared quick. It's not a good idea to start, even within like police units and shit, to call stuff non-lethal. Because it gets in your head. You can't kill somebody with that. You absolutely can. Not using it in its intended purpose, right? To lob smoke into an empty area. But when you get that in your head that it's non-lethal and that you can use it without killing people, it's not a good premise to get going within a police department, within the military, within anybody. You should think of that as less lethal. It's less likely to kill somebody, but it absolutely will kill people. And then everybody's pissed at the videos of that guy throwing rocks at the immigration trucks. It seems like if I was on the outside looking in, I would ask them, what the fuck did they expect? They claim that they were going after murderers, rapists, and drug dealers, and smugglers, and traffickers, and gang members. Then they started raiding restaurants and fucking dragging out dishwashers and cooks and construction workers with no criminal history, right? They're snatching them up and sending them to fucking El Salvador before a judge can stop them. And then they're bragging about it and making these videos, like these intimidation videos. Kristi Noem running around with a fucking AR-15 that she doesn't know how to operate. Like, it's almost like they wanted this to happen. They wanted these protests. They wanted people out there. They want people getting fucking snatched up. They want this mentality because this is the perfect fucking recipe for it. There's a lot of ways to handle this where it doesn't look like an attack on the fucking people, on the community. And the community comes to defend it. But that's not what they chose to do. Uh-oh, suspicious pallets of bricks. Who the fuck is going to throw a goddamn cinder block? The Democrats are funding pallets of bricks to be dropped off at an outdoor supply store. This is super suspicious, except if I bring this down to where you guys can see the full screen, and then I zoom in over here. What's that inside this business? What's that right there inside this business? Oh, more brick and block. And is it suspicious then? Suspicious pallet of bricks outside the brick superstore. Like, what the fuck? They always say that stupid shit. George Soros delivering bricks. Like, that's what this store obviously sells. I can see it over there. That is this bag right here. You guys can't see it on your screen. This bag right here on this bench is specifically used to deliver sand and dirt and shit that you would use with bricks. That's what these heavy-duty canvas bags are used for. A forklift or a crane or something can pick it up. Aggregate bag. So I don't think this is that suspicious, but whatever. There's more pallets in the background. It's unfortunate they were there at this time, right? I'm sure people grabbed them and threw shit at the fucking cops, but like this is not a weird place for them to be. Yeah, that's why there's all these broken ones here. You'd have to break it before you could even throw it. Damn. LA. ICE. Oh, not ICW. ICE-T is what we're looking for. Protesters are leaving shopping carts on the road in front of Home Depot on Londra Boulevard in the Paramount neighborhood of Los Angeles. Local journalists are also reporting that several ICE vehicles have sustained damage. I saw the guy throwing. They're pissed about the guy throwing rocks, dude. The Republicans are like, oh, this is what did they call it? Attempted manslaughter or some shit. Look at these guys, dude. They're trying to defend their community the same way that you're just going to say, I'm just doing my job. Well, they're just trying to defend their community. Who is that guy with a mustache, bro? Look at this dude. Whoa, look at that guy. Cowboy hat and mustache. He might like his job a little bit too much. How do you expect the community to react? If this isn't it, there's somebody else there in the story. Pallets of concrete bricks right outside the gates in the immediate vicinity where ICE is located in LA. Is that convenient? Haven't we seen this movie before? Guys, it's a place that sells these things. Like if you showed it to me outside an ice cream parlor, I'd be like, well, that is kind of weird. And there wasn't like construction going on nearby. Yeah, that is weird. This place sells those things. Everybody watch Alice is out of control. Let's see. I saw him tackle somebody. I'll back up. Ooh. The people that get off seeing like kids and like somebody posted, there was this woman being arrested inside what looked like a restaurant, and her and her kids were being zip tied up. And they're like, when I see this woman, this was an actual Twitter post I saw. When I see this woman being zip tied, blah, 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 all I think of is how, who was the famous girl that got killed by the immigrant while she was jogging? All I think about is how hard her parents probably cried. Yes, they all got to go. Every one of them. What the fuck, dude? How can you ever be okay? Like watching kids get zip tied. Lake and Raleigh. Oh, what the fuck was she doing? She was just standing there, wasn't she? What's she doing? Standing in front of the car? Did somebody puncture a tire? We'll probably see. This is the guy they're all mad about. Check this guy out. He might play for the fucking Dodgers or some shit. Boom. Boom, bitch. I don't condone this. You probably shouldn't be doing this. But he's got pretty good aim. Just saying. He has not missed yet. I don't think I can and keep a Twitch channel. Riders in LA throwing rocks at ICE vehicles as they pass. There is only one legitimate response to this level of lawlessness. They will absolutely use that for Trump's, like, we're bringing the National Guard, right? That's just a cardboard box, it looks like. Didn't something happen like this last time Trump was in charge? What do they call it? The Summer of Love? Alert! Soros-funded organizations have ordered hundreds of pallets of bricks to be placed near ICE facilities to be used by Democrat militants against ICE agents and staff. It's a civil war. The pallet of bricks is the viral tweet, which is basically claims was ordered by Soros-funded organizations and deliberately placed near ICE sites, is unrelated to the events in LA. The image has been lifted from the website of Malaysian construction material suppliers. Kind of weird.
Officials or these non-government, and like I said many times, these elected officials or these non-government organizations, they can't cross the line either. I mean, we got people like Hakeem Jeffrey saying he's going to dox ICE employees. ICE agents out there with masks on. They're wearing masks to protect themselves and their families because they've been doxed.
Did he say he's going to dox them, or did he say they ought to have to show their face?
Their family's been doxed, their life's been threatened, their families have been threatened. I know myself, I had over 1,000 protesters at my house. I expect that as the borders are, but these men and women are putting their lives on the line every day. They arrested a lot of bad people yesterday and today. They arrested child sex offenders. They arrested people convicted of robbery. They arrested
They arrested a dishwasher at the local Italian place. They arrested hundreds of construction workers who were just trying to feed their fucking family.
Safety, not only significant public safety threats.
No one's going to stop you if you're like, hey, this guy is like a fucking pedo. Okay, go get him. Hey, this guy, we got evidence for a grand jury indicted him on blah, blah, blah. No one's stopping you.
National security threats. They arrested gang members. We're making Los Angeles safer. And Mayor Bass ought to be thanking us for making her city safer. And the term migrant, as Joe Concha rightfully said earlier, they're illegal aliens. There are illegal aliens in this country, and we welcome. We're the most...
Right. They're not a pickup truck. They're a Toyota Tacoma.
Given country in the world, but these are illegal aliens.
Of course they're fucking migrants, you goddamn retard.
Who committed a crime by crossing this border illegally, then yet committed another crime. Again, yesterday's about a criminal investigation into money laundering, tax evasion, and some of the funds going to cartels in Mexico and Colombia that fund their operations of sending...
A migrant's just a person who moved from one place to another.
Like to this country, killing American people. This is about enforcing the law. And again, we're not going to apologize for doing it. We're stepping up. She says they're going to mobilize. Well, guess what? We're already ahead of the game. We were already mobilizing. We're going to bring National Guard in tonight. We're going.
Dude, so there's one of the simulation theory things says that you shouldn't be surprised when the most ridiculous things happen, if you believe in simulation theory. Because if they're running millions of simulations and the boring ones get turned off or shut down for the crazier ones, then you shouldn't be surprised that you live in such a crazy timeline. Stephen Miller watching news coverage of ICE raids in LA. We apprehended a known terrorist. He's a known dishwasher, sir. Uh-oh. Some people just use it as a time to get wild, huh? Well, Well, that's the point of a simulation. If it's a simulation, you wouldn't be able to tell. That's exactly what you would say if it was a simulation. It's not a simulation.
I can definitely feel those tires.
That brick video is literally the back of Home Depot. That makes sense. I saw him on the racks on the thing. Uh-oh.
That horn's not.
Oh my God, there's bricks at Home Depot. What will they think of next? Trump just let Elon scrape all that government data. Makes you wonder. Yeah. And now they got approved to do Social Security too. Dude, it is terrifying. The idea of this like citizen master file where they're going to take all the government data and like even these fucking cameras in my town that I've been bitching about that not only scan your tags, they build a profile against your car, how many occupants, which direction you're going, how often you're going. Like that's fucking crazy. That's going to be added to my master file, I guess. Someone asked a Trump supporter that the other day, like, you're always terrified of George Soros, and now Elon's like, but they're doing it out in the open, so that means they're not doing anything wrong, right? Or they'd be hiding it. Like my George Soros nightmares. Soup for my family. They're saying, oh no, it's just a little soup for my family. Can you believe it? I didn't say it, they said it. Soup for my family. They got it in a sock. Who eats soup from a sock? This might not even be LA. This might be from a different, or if it is LA, it might VA loading docks. It's hard to tell if these are even current or not. Riders attempting to break into the ICE detention center in LA are now launching explosives at the facility. Well, fireworks, but yeah. They'll say, I got Campbell's Extra Chunky because my family's very hungry. When really it hits like a load of bricks. Damn, it looks like they got the road closed, don't they? It's about to get super spicy tonight. You don't know what the sock joke is, or the soup for my family joke is? Trump said that during the Summer of Love, the George Floyd protests, that all the people were walking around with soup because they were using it as weapons and then saying they were unarmed. So everybody started making memes about it. Here it is. Listen.
Put some power into that, right?
Today I'm...
You can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? Yes, sir.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that was about to happen. Soup for my family. They'll say, my family's just very hungry. This is soup for my family. They're using it to attack the cops.
In cities across the nation, we've also seen police officers assaulted with bricks, rocks, bats, Molotov cocktails, frozen bottles of water. Somebody said last night, one of these protesters, I saw it, he said, it's only water. How can water hurt you? Yeah, they don't say it's frozen in a bottle the size of a football, and they throw it at the police. It's
football water?
It's water. And then they have cans of soup. soup, and they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick. It's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? Yes, sir. And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it, and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force.
It's worse. It's worse than a brick.
It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
I tell you, a meme that will never be lived down is fiery but mostly peaceful.
Just
from CNN.
Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No.
Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? Yes. Yes. It's protected by the Constitution.
And by the way, the media knows it better than we do. They know what's going on. I don't know what's wrong with them. They're doing our country a tremendous disservice, I'll say that. But in cities all across our nation, we've seen our police officers so badly assaulted.
With soup. The soup's getting them. Killing them with the soups. So everybody started making jokes about it, like these.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick. It's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? Yes, sir. And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it, and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. And then they have cans of soup.
So there you go. That is the soup for my family meme. It is weird that Epstein was killed while Trump was in office and no one ever points at him. It's always it's the Clintons. Well, who was in charge? It's the Clintons. Don't worry about it. Ooh. No, get it. Are you by yourself, bro? You're about to get fucked up, dude. Sorry. Some dumb bitch I wanted to comment to. Frozen water the size of footballs. Sarasota. Fuck out of here. Definitely some crazy shit going on. What the fuck? Meet the Rockies.
Fucking shame! 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 Back up! Yeah, back up! Back up! Shame! 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 I see shame! You little shame! 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 Big shame! 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 Back up! Yeah, back up!
I think we saw this one the other day. That's an older one. Oh, that's the box. We saw that one just a second ago. I don't know. Shit's getting rough. Shit sucks. I'm depressed. Separate from all this. Just not feeling it, guys. Sorry. The world's falling apart. I got an appointment coming up I really don't want to fucking do, but I got to. But I'm already getting anxious about it. It's not till the 17th. God damn, it's still a long ways away. It's still 10 days away. And I'm already getting fucking anxious and shit about it. All right, guys. I'm getting off here. Support the show if you want to. Coldbeer.fund. I'd appreciate it. If you don't want to, that's cool too. I don't know. I'm more out. I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys, y'all have a good night. I'm gonna head to the house, get something to eat. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thoughts and prayers to California, I guess. You guys have a good night. We'll see you on the next one. Yeah, I'll probably be back tomorrow. Have a good one, guys.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see this particular show, you don't have the forking balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the forking balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well listen bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6th sense for the stupid shit. Where my true believer? Y'all need Jesus. Praise the Lord, head to the extreme. All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip. Worshipping drums, cocking, begging for a throat deposit. Swinging fucking meat hammers like Thor in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, beating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'ma make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. I used
Good night, guys.
to when I was high on shrooms. I found